It's a really good album. I don't have a question
you,
per se. I just wanted to call in and say, what's up, guys? What's happening, fellas?
I thank you for calling and all like that, for real. But, I mean, I do encourage you. You know, the only thing I would say to that is I've seen people who didn't cross, but also for a number of reasons, maybe it wasn't time or maybe they did cross and didn't realize that they crossed. I find that has happened to me because a lot of times a room explains my trip. Sometimes I didn't think I didn't cross, but I come out of it and just in talking to the people around me, I realized I did cross. Because the experience is so magnificent that sometimes it holds you back from seeing a lot, or holds you back from remembering everything. You know, but also, you know, if you only done, you know, have experience with it once, you know, a lot of times newcomers, you know, they don't, you know, break through per se. Like I can almost feel like even though the first time I felt like I crossed, that was by no means my deepest travels with it. You know what I'm saying? Right. And there have been other times when I didn't cross. So I encourage you just to, you know, just open yourself up.
Keep on. Keep on.
Right. Definitely. And Spirit, I definitely appreciate you calling in, man. Thanks for checking us out at 2RAW4TV. And if you want to check out Spirit, check out tattoopoet.com. He's on there. He's also the host of the Session Live, which is every second Tuesday at the Art Bar in Columbia, South Carolina. Now, Mark, you were talking about different trips and stuff like that people have taken. Now, have you ever seen anyone have a quote-unquote bad trip on DMT?
All right. Yes, I have. Well, I don't call it a bad trip, though, because I just call it an intense trip. Because truly it still shows you something. But I will say I've seen somebody. All right. I've probably experienced DMT with maybe around 30 or so people, maybe 35, I would say. And out of all of them, I've seen one whose first trip, when he saw the beings that came to him, and he loved it. But then afterwards, he said, like a day later, he said, he woke up, he was sleeping in his bed, then he woke up and he found himself in the middle of his floor, then he blacked out, and then found himself in the bathroom. Now, out of everybody I know who experienced this, if somebody was going to tell me that, all right, you're going to do this with 35 people, and one person is going to tell you they're going to have this experience, guess which person this is going to be? I would have guessed that it would be this person. Really? So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that says. You know what I'm saying? But you know, all I say is that didn't sway me. That didn't. You know, when they told me that, I wasn't like, oh, okay. Oh no, you know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, whatever, that's them. You know what I'm saying? And also I will say this: the people I've done it with, you know, he is on a different frequency, you know, and also they say, you know, you're not supposed to do it when you have any other kind of drugs in your system, like, you know, and alcohol, and he is a heavy drinker, and he was drinking that night, but still, I've also seen somebody go under and was about to cross, and then held themselves back from crossing, you know, and they didn't want to go. It was like, no, I don't want to go, because it is intense, dude. It will show you everything. Sometimes it'll show you the most magnificent things and beautiful things you can never even think of, and then at the time, and then, like, just in the next second, it'll show you the most intense, overwhelming, just like, oh my God, like, what is going on? But it means something. It's not to scare you, it's to teach you. But some people fear what they don't understand, which is totally, you know, understandable here because, I mean, dude, I'm not Superman, dude. I mean, I've had some trips where it totally put me in check. I was like, whoa, okay, I don't want to do this for a few months. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is just, and yeah, man. It's so I've seen it all.
I definitely hear that. What do you think is the most common misconception about DMT?
Well, that it's a drug. I mean, that's plain and simple. I mean, because I mean, people who experience know it's not a drug, you know. But I mean, just it's what shamans have used it, you know, for centuries. You know what I'm saying? It's their rituals. It's Buddha, like I was saying, you know. But obviously, you know, in today's society, you know, a lot of things. I mean, marijuana is illegal. Are you kidding me? Like, I've never heard of nobody being high and killing people driving. I heard people drinking and driving, like killing people, you know. But you know, so you know, a lot of things are just you know, are backwards, you know, but we're getting there. We're getting there as a society. I see this awakening, you know, what's happening. It's a beautiful feeling, too.
Definitely. And I see a lot more awakening, too. And is this awakening coinciding with the natural events that are happening now, just like the disasters and things like that? I mean, what is your thoughts on this, Marc Marcel? I mean, do you think that the rise in consciousness in general is affecting the weather and our perception of this world?
All right. I'll say this. Look, there are things I know. There are things I don't know. And there are things that I can speculate on. This is something that I'm going to speculate on. All right. And this is an educated guess from what I've seen. You know what I'm saying? And just so people know, whenever, like, I'm actually writing a book about, you know, this stuff. And whenever I sit down and write, and whenever I cross, I ask only that the truth come through me. You know, just so I'm not tainted with anything. I want to be open to everything. I pray that everything that comes through me is just, you know, of light. But I believe that that's possible. That with all the disasters and stuff like that could be also attributed to a rise in consciousness, but I also don't think that it's necessary, you know what I'm saying, for all the disasters to come for us to have a rise in consciousness. I don't think it's always necessary. I think a lot of things it also do. People forget that the earth is a living being. You know, the earth is moody. You know, just like people are moody, the earth is moody. The earth has mood swings. The earth goes through puberty, you know? I mean, the earth is like 4 or 5 billion years old or whatever, something like that, you know? I mean, so we also fail to look at all this other stuff and always attribute, you know, take stuff when things happen as negative, like, oh my God hates us and this and so I'm not sure, but I will say this. The most important thing there is, the most important, most creative, the most valuable tool that you can use and have and give is love and to share. And when you have that vibration coming through you, man, you know, you realize that everything will be all right. And it's a beautiful feeling to have. Excuse this helicopter playing in the background. They're obviously looking for somebody. Hopefully they're not looking for me. Talking about DMT.
Well, you know, this 2RAW4TV, anything's possible, you know. And
yeah, right.
Well, you know, it has affected a lot people's perception about a lot of things. Now, specifically, how has it affected your thoughts on death? I mean, because this is actually DMT is pumped throughout your body when you die.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's close to thing that you get to a near-death experience.
Yes. All right. Well, first of all, I'm glad you touched on that. One, I have no fear of death whatsoever now. I mean, I can't say whatsoever because, I mean, people fear that pain. They're like, is it going to hurt? You know, but, I mean, I have no fear of what's next. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? I have no fear of what happens next, like, whatsoever. But to explain it, now, DMT, when you're born and when you die, you have the largest amounts of DMT being pumped in your brain. So when you're born and when you die, so when you die, you are having a DMT experience. Now, so when you die, when you're smoking this, that's letting you know you're tampering, you're playing your experience with the afterlife. You know what I'm saying? Because when you die, you're having this experience. Now, what I'm learning is that it's either a stage to the afterlife or it's the afterlife. I think it's a stage to the afterlife. I mean, because you don't fully cross. You don't fully cross until you die. The ego is what keeps you here. Like, it's so. I'm getting into Kabbalah. Like, one the people like. I should say I've been reading up on Kabbalah, and one thing it's talking about the ego. Now, you need some of your ego because your ego is what tells you are alive. Your ego is selfish. Your ego is selfish enough to tell you that you're alive in this imaginary fake world. Your ego is enough so you have to check it. Otherwise, if you don't check it, it can grow to being selfish enough to be like, you know what, I'm going to scam this person out of money. You know what, I'm selfish enough to rob the store. You know what, I'm selfish enough to be jealous of my friend because he has a good girlfriend. You know what, I'm selfish enough to talk to this person just because he has status or whatever. You have to check that. It's a matter, so you need some of your ego to tell you that you are alive. Because if you have none of it, you're into the world of answers. You're in the afterlife. Because the ego, the selfishness, does not exist in the world of answers. So for you to exist here, you need somewhat of a little bit of an ego to tell you you're alive. But you need to check it. You need to bring it down. You need to tone it. And but yeah, there is no such thing as death. The death, in a sense, it means end. You know what I'm saying? When you look at it, it means end. There is no end. There's a continuation, and actually you're going back to the beginning, you know. That world, whatever the world of answers made this world, you know, you know, this is what is fake. This is what is created. This is for us to play in. You know, this is just a game to us, basically. It's like we put ourselves into a mystery to have fun, to experience. Basically, in one of my experiences, what I would say is that it tells you, one of my experiences, I went to a source of God, I would say, and it showed me what it kind of look like, but it also takes different forms. So it's not, I can't say that that's God, but it was giving off this energy, and it was telling me that basically what God is us. God, a being, like I said this in one of my videos, Chronicles of the Mind, a being that knows everything, broke itself down to experience new things, because knowing everything and having nothing new to experience is boring. So you break yourself down into souls, and we make this reality, and we forget, and we experience, and we have fun, and we play, and we experience. But we are God, and we need to let that light shine through us here so we can give ourselves the best possible experience that we can.
Exactly. And another, you know, spiritual experience that a lot of people are experiencing a lot more recently is deja vu, or you could call it happenstance, or you could call it a myriad of things, but it's that deja vu feeling. Now, we have some tracks, exclusive tracks from your new album. Matter of fact, you have made a track called Deja Vu. I'm going to play it now. Is there anything you would like to say about that track in particular?
No, well, yes, you're exactly right. Deja vu is as soon as you awake, you kind of just this just seems like it's like a reoccurring movie or whatever. Like I have deja vu almost like once a week. It's nothing.